So, we started to wrestle with the idea of finding a church that we could get, plugged in. Janitorial work, I would have parked cars, I would have changed diapers, right? Like, I just didn't want to go back to being in a small group. I had this laundry list of reasons why it didn't work. 3 kids, like, how is that going to work? We have a lot of activities that are going on. I didn't feel like that we had anything happening that we needed to be in a group to have people walking us through something. I didn't feel like we had a whole lot to give anybody either. Like, I just felt like that this was going to be another thing where we were going to show up, we were going to check the box, and we were going to say we did group, but we weren't going to get anything out of it. So it just felt very surface level to me, and I was very hesitant about joining a group.
It was probably, a good while before we did anything to get plugged in or connected. So we're still coming here, but we weren't really connected with anybody.
Yeah. To be completely honest, I just didn't want to take the extra time to spend one of my evenings going to someone's house and sitting in a circle. And
we just knew we needed to get connected.
Whenever we got to small group, it was definitely a lot different than our last small group. We connected with everybody that was there. Gave us more of a positive, outlook on group.
About 6 months into it, the leader of the group had reached out, had said, I don't know if you feel called to step in to start leading a group, but I think you do a great job. As fast as the words came out, like, my head and my heart was like, no.
What really got us to start looking for a place to kind of fellowship and have friends and people to lean on were the hardships that we were facing at that time.
Because I think we knew Chris and Lisa maybe 2 or 3 weeks. They came out and said that they had multiple miscarriages.
A month after we found out we were pregnant, we lost our first pregnancy. That happened a few more times. That following January, my mom was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. That same January, we found out we were pregnant for the 4th time. And then that March, we ended up losing that pregnancy.
I mean, we had essentially been through 4 miscarriages. To try for a 5th was a hard thing to do. It was a hard thing to commit to.
I guess I really felt like, God, you're not listening to me, or you don't care about me. Like, why are you turning your back on me? So I felt like it was important to get connected and to really speak truth into that.
We just felt so defeated, and that we were grabbing at anything and everything to try and find answers, and even if it weren't answers, to find support. We were in our 2nd meeting, and we had no intentions of telling our story.
One of the girls that was in our group, she said, okay, well, let's just go ahead and pray over you, that you'll have no more miscarriages, that you'll be able to, conceive a baby.
She was like, I want to specifically pray for you to be able to get pregnant and have a good pregnancy. And Chris and I looked at each other and we were like, we have to tell them, but we just met these people 2 weeks ago. We had had another positive pregnancy test 5 days before that.
And so at that point, Lisa kind of turned red and was just like, oh, well, we've got something to tell you guys. We're actually, 5 weeks pregnant. So we all laid hands on her and kind of prayed over her and prayed for the baby that they had.
All of them had their hands over us. Everyone was crying. And it was really, really powerful.
You could, feel the presence of God. I mean, it was very tangible.
It was a very powerful moment.
And to think that these people would spend that much time and energy and care about us that much, I mean, it felt like family.
I think their last miscarriage happened at 13 weeks. And so it just kept getting further and further along in the pregnancy and the ultrasound. And
they were constantly texting Lisa and I, and how are things going? We know you got a doctor appointment this morning. We're praying for you. We're thinking about you. It was just the support, the backing was amazing.
Obviously 9 months later, they had a baby boy. It was incredible.
It was like time stood still, just sitting there looking at him, and to know that he'd been prayed for, and he was our little miracle child.
We just weren't going to church to learn about God. We like physically got to experience God. What I would say to people that, you know, are on the fence about being in a group, you know, we're all called to do something. And, you know, the thing with a calling is that it's the thing that you're afraid to do but uncomfortable having not yet done.
Just do it. Just stop making excuses. Do it. It's going to be worth it.
You won't regret it. The time that he thought that he wasn't going to have for it, he ended up making time to be able to do it. So it's worth it for your life spiritually, to be in community with people.
If you don't like it, then don't do it again, but I guarantee you'll like it.
You have no idea, like, what God can do through you. You have no idea what God can do in you. And I think, you know, having an opportunity to get into group and, you know, giving God the ability to use people, that's when you can experience the power of God.